Hello and welcome back to the Yarn Horse Crafting Podcast. My name is Sasha and I'm coming to you today from a town just outside of Birmingham in the West Midlands here in the UK. And today is my West Midlands Wool Festival vlog, podcast, deep dive, shall we say. So on the 11th and the 12th of July, so the weekend just gone, there was a brand new yarn show at the racecourse at Wolverhampton, which is in the West Midlands, so quite local to me. I went along on the Saturday. I did manage to get some footage. I will say I recorded for about the first hour, going around some different stalls, getting permission to record different stalls. After that, it got much too hot to have my camera out. My camera was struggling. Other bits going on, it was quite warm there, so I kind of just stopped recording after a certain while and just sort of wandered around and enjoyed the show. I'm hoping it was successful for a lot of people, but of course because of the weather, I know it did put some people off. A couple of the people I know from my local knit group was going to go, but then decided because of the heat wave, too hot to go, which, fair enough, it was very warm. They had tables of water out for everybody and the water was quite cold, thankfully. Unfortunately, where the majority of the show took place, there was not aircon. There was just a bunch of fans circulating air. And then at the hottest point of the day, somebody thought it was a good idea to move a couple of the fans in front of the open doors to blow all of the hot air inside. So I think because of how hot it was, it did kind of affect the show. After about midday, I kind of stopped enjoying the show quite so much because it was so hot, which is kind of reflected in how little I bought. So I bought just 2 projects worth of wool, which was one small project and one medium project, which I will get to in a bit. But for now, I shall leave you with Sasha from the past, who attended the show. I made it! We are here. I'm parked just over there. I had to stop to get fuel on the way here, so, you know, because that's not expensive at the moment at all. But we have made it to the Wolverhampton Wool Show. West Midlands Wool Show, I think it's technically called. But, it's another beautifully hot day, and my car is not happy. So, here. I'll catch you all again in a bit. It is open. It's only a couple minutes early. So yeah, better.
Well, I'm rolling Ryan's just
right, I'm going to change out of sunglasses so I can actually see what I'm doing. Gonna have a wander around and see what we can find. There we go.
Hi, I'm Carl from Super Effective Fibres. We are doing emo yarn, we're doing Pokemon yarn, we've got a whole load of Schitt's Creek yarn if that's your thing. But do pop by if you love all of those things, and if you don't, just come for a chat, because I don't stop talking.
Where can people find you?
Where can we find you? I'm on Instagram, and I've got the website. It's at supereffectivefibres or www.supereffectivefibres.com.uk, not com. Yeah, I'm on all the things. I'm not great at the things, but I do all the things because you have to, and yeah, you'll find me there, and I'll have a chat with anyone about anything, quite frankly.
You'll be able to find our Super Effective Fibres linked in the description box below. This wool show thought of everything. There is ice cold water out for people.
I'm enjoying it. But this is my next.
You'll be seeing more of this dyer at Christmas because they are the ones doing the Downton Abbey Advent. So I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more of them in the future.
So that's like the top. So that top at the bottom there is knitted with one skein of that.
Ranunculus.
Ranunculus, yes.
We keep crossing paths.
That's nice.
The fan.
The dyers have brought their A game because my resolve was already faltering. We'll see how this goes.
Well, that's apparently what we're looking for today. They are a merino.
That's my team, so it's all not a full scale scrap going on. But yeah. So I'm currently knitting a scarf and the jumper and the stripes. So I'm going to do every single colour and then I'm going to put tassels on the end.
So we're at Second City Yarns. This is their famous number 11 bus route. If you're from Brum, you know the number 11 circular. And I used to live on it. I used to live literally next to one of the bus stops in Bearwood, which is these sets of colours, these sets of greens. One day I will find a project for it. One day. But until then...
Yes, have a good day. Thank you.
I suppose if you're into football.
All of my stuff's to do with silk, so it's something with silk-based blends, yeah, so, but anyway, have a look down, feel free to film whatever you want.
Visualize how I'm stressed. I have
So the unique thing here is basically all of the yarns have a silk component to them. So it's a unique selling point, if you ask me. It's different to the usual 75-25. There's always some sort of silk in these. So as always, this will be linked in the description below. So if you're interested in looking at some luxury silk-based yarn, you can find them.
As soon as I found it, I went, oh, I can make
No sé yo, a ver, están muy chulos, no sé cómo será de plástico. Sí, eso sí.
Right, so this is when you put the two together, that gives you the equivalent 4 which is this way.
The way to my heart. Crikey, she doesn't half waffle, doesn't she? So, you will have seen the show. Hopefully you will have seen a lot of the nice stalls. You will have seen me coming out of my shell a little bit and actually talking at the camera in front of people. So yeah, it was a good show. Like, there was about, there was 75 to 80 stalls. I think I visited every single stall. I definitely didn't record every single stall, but I'm pretty sure I visited every single stall, with perhaps the exception of the charity magazine stall and the, is it Joe's Toes? Yeah, the felting stuff, bits like that, not really my thing. Like, I will buy made felted items, but I'm not going to go and make my own felted items sort of thing. So, yeah. I'm hoping it happens next year and it's a little bit cooler for them, because I think it'd be an amazing show. It's a great show to have so local. And now I will show you my miniature yarn haul. I will tell you now how much yarn I bought in weight, but when you realise that it's for 2 projects, and one of them is DK weight, yeah, so not very much, which is probably a good thing, because I'm not exactly struggling for yarn, am I? You know, we're starting to get to the point where I'm running out of space here, so it's probably not a bad thing. But we'll start with the small project. So this was the very first stall I recorded at. I kind of beelined to this stall in order to record, and although I didn't buy this yarn straight away, I came back for it, mostly so I didn't have to lug it around the show for the next 6 hours. This is for a pair of socks, specifically for my other half, and it is from Super Effective Fibres. Yes, I kind of beelined there. So this is the main colour. Did I actually tell you how much yarn I brought in? So there's 520 grams of yarn here. This is the main colour. So Super Effective Fibres does like a sock set deal. So they come in 50 grams. So you can buy a 50 gram with a 20 gram, or you can buy 100 grams with a 20 gram. As these are for my other half, I had to get the 100 gram. If these were for me, I could have just got away with a 50 and a 20, but as we all know, my partner has climbed feet. So this is from the Yarn Decks collection, which I think is a permanent collection of Pokemon inspired yarns. So all of the minis are based around the different Pokeballs you can get in the game, and then the 50 gram skeins are from different Pokemon. I will say, I didn't grow up playing Pokemon. It wasn't what I grew up playing. I grew up on a lot of survival horror. I played a lot of Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Clock Tower, Rule of Rose, those sorts of games, as well as a bit of Final Fantasy and racing games. But my partner definitely grew up as a Pokemon baby, or Pokemon kid. To the point that he still has his Game Boy Advance with Pokemon. He also owns both Pokemon Gold and Silver, like, is it Soul Silver and Heart Gold? Which, if anybody knows, those things cost an absolute bloody fortune today because they're so rare. But I got these. My partner is very much a purple fan. He loves purple, it's one of his favourite colours. And red. And if any of you are Pokemon fans, you probably already know who this is. But this is Gengar. And I shall hold this side and put a picture of the Pokemon here. So, yep. I have 2 50-gram skeins of Gengar, and quite by chance, the Pokeball colour I picked is purple, which matches with this. However, when I realised that they were based on the Pokeballs, I deliberately picked a specific Pokeball rather than a specific colour. I do know a little bit about Pokemon just from my partner, but I am very aware that the Master Ball is the best ball in the game. Like, it will catch any Pokemon first try, no struggles. And I deliberately picked this because, kind of like an inside joke between me and my partner, we were both difficult to catch. Kind of an inside joke, because we were both hard to catch. So, for my other half, because he needs more socks. He needs more socks. So I probably should just knit the ones I've got, but... So my very first purchase from the yarn show wasn't for me. So much for a year of selfish knitting. So that is project 1. And then project 2 is for a sweater vest that I can't remember the name of. It'll be on screen here. Picture here. So this, I know for a fact this is a free pattern by Audrey Barigo? I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head and it's not going well. But I'd seen a couple of, so also with the show, I saw plenty of things I liked. Just nothing I specifically wanted, or nothing I specifically wanted that they had enough for me for the project I wanted it for. This is the project that, this was the colour I was looking, this is the kind of colour I was looking for. They had the right quantity I needed and it fit what I was looking for. So this was not a, you know, I couldn't find anything I liked so I settled. I don't do that. This is what I found and I liked, and it is from Wool Tops, and it is their DK Cozy Colours collection. It's a 100% wool yarn, and the colourway is just called Pink. It's got a very, very slight orange tone to the pink, almost like a salmon colour, but it definitely says pink. So I brought 400 grams. I did the calculations of how much I would need, and I think it said I needed 3.4 skeins. So of course, I've got 4. So I can make this as long as I want to. It is a top-down pattern. It is heavily cabled as well, so it's going to take a little bit of time, but it's a top-down pattern, so I can make this a bit longer if I want to, and just keep going till I run out of yarn if necessary. So it's a very, very nice wool. As always, shops, patterns, the yarn show and everything will be linked down below in the description box. So, and now I have the hiccups. Excellent. If there's a lot of random cuts, you know why. So, yeah. the only other thing I bought. So I don't know when I'm going to start working on this. Might be soon, might not be. Probably as soon as the urge for cables kicks back in, I'll cast this on. I mean, 4 skeins of DK weight yarn, I mean, that should be a fairly quick project. You know, once I get into something like that, I get into it, so. And with no sleeves or anything, it should be quite simple, but we'll see. And that's everything I specifically bought from the show. There is something else that I'm going to show you. This was the workshop that I decided to do. This is why I was at the show all day. I got there early so that I could try and film a number of the stalls before they got sort of raided, while they were still looking close to their best. But then this workshop was at 2:30 till 4 and the show closed at 4. So I was kind of stuck there all day, whether I wanted to be or not. So I took a drop spindle for beginners class. Now I'm aware not everybody is into spinning. I wanted to take this class just to say I've done it, just so that I kind of have a go, see if I enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, then I've lost the cost of the workshop, which wasn't that much, and a little bit of time learning it, which it's not that much really. You know, you're never going to know until you give it a go. So I took the class. I have been practicing since I got home, and this is what I have so far. As part of the class, you get a drop spindle as well as 2 braids of fibre, 2 100-gram braids of fibre. I'm not counting the fibre as going into stash. I'll count that as going in once I finish each skein. However, the very first skein isn't going to be going into stash to be used. And you might be there going, oh, why? Why? If you're making it, why are you not going to use it? I've made the decision to keep the very first skein of yarn I ever make from spinning. I'm going to finish spinning all of this lovely white, I can't remember what this one was. I know this one is Shetland. I can't remember what this one is off the top of my head. But I'm going to keep this, so I'm going to like spin up the entire braid, wind it into a skein, and then I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it to show myself where I started. Keep my very first skein as a reminder for the rest of my life that yes, I can do it, but also to remind myself where I started. So yes, I got given 200 grams of fibre to make basically 200 grams of wool. But this very first braid is not going to be used into making a project. I'm just going to keep it, which, yeah, I'm very happy about. I already know that this is not going to be the best spun ever. I am semi-consistent. However, you can kind of see there is a couple of places where it's gotten very slim, very, very thin and overspun. There's another few bits that are a little bit more loosely spun, so they look a bit fluffier. But it's a process, it's a learning process, you know. You can't start doing it and be excellent at it straight away. I mean, if you are one of those people, then that's fine. But clearly I'm not. But I'll be honest, it's been fun to learn this. And I look forward to keeping going. I have been sort of, the teacher, Fiona, did say, like, you're better off practicing for 15 minutes a day rather than 2 hours a month in one go. And I have mostly stuck to that. I didn't get a chance to yesterday, which was Tuesday. I was so busy all day. So, and then in the very evening when I got home, was finally able to sit down and do it. I sat down and just started working on my colourwork jumper for a gift. So, but I'm going to continue practicing at this, see how I go. At some point on the podcast, you will see this as a finished skein. I'm not going to talk about spinning every week, only if I have a finished item to show you or something important to discuss about it. So if you're not that into spinning, don't worry about it. It's not going to become a 100% spinning channel. It's just something I wanted to try, give it a go. If after both of these braids have been spun up, I decide it's not for me, that's fine. But it's another skill to add to my arsenal, so yeah. So this is the Shetland yarn. This is the one I'm actually more looking forward to spinning up. I really like this colour. So hopefully by the time I'm finished with this one and all of the practice with this one, I can make a relatively consistent wool, so that I can make a relatively consistent wool from this, for the purposes of making a hat, because I think that'd be nice, and it's it feels so lovely. I mean, I love this. So that was my West Midlands Wool Festival yarn show haul. As I said, didn't actually get that much. So it was a wonderful show. It was just very, very hot because of the heat wave. The humidity was also awful on that day. So yeah, hopefully it's on again next year. Hopefully they're committed to doing at least 2 before they make a decision on if they're going to keep it going. But of course, if it was a giant flop, then... But it seemed to be quite busy at the beginning, and then as soon as the heat and the humidity got there, it just sort of died down. So hopefully it was successful enough that we'll have another one next year. And with that, I shall leave you all here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you in my podcast episode on Friday, where I will probably be wearing the exact same top because I'm due to record that this afternoon. But I'll talk about that in the episode. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye, guys.